Hi there, my name is Derek Dorman, and today I'm going to be presenting on option 2 of the project, in which I took an individual from the Bible that has little to no narration in text, dialogue, in which I interpret it in my own way and tie it back into Mr. Alter's chapter in his biblical narrative textbook. So today I decided to do the beloved disciple. So who exactly is the beloved disciple? Well, the beloved disciple first comes to us within the Last Supper as well as the crucifixion. That's where we begin to see more description of this person without the actual physical description or any of the names given to this individual. So historians throughout the years have agreed and disagreed and come to conclusions that perhaps one of these individuals could be the last or the beloved disciple. So going into the first one, it could have been John the Apostle because he was at the Last Supper, but historians have disagreed because he was not at the crucifixion. And as I said in the Bible, the beloved disciple is found at both of these settings. The next one could have been Mary Magdalene. Now, Mary Magdalene was one of Jesus' beloved friends, and she saw him as a teacher and believed for everything he stood for, and historians believed it could have been her. But in the description of the crucifixion, the beloved disciple is actually referred to as a he, and so Mary Magdalene totally discredited. And then going to the next individual, it could have been James, the brother of Jesus, because we see in the Bible that the love between these two brothers is so strong. But historians, again, have disagreed with this theory. So, in my own interpretation, I believe the beloved disciple to be, nonetheless, but the reader. So, the reader, as a creative interpretation, I feel as though the reader is the beloved disciple. The reader specifically being a Christian, someone who has accepted Jesus Christ as the Lord and Savior. And so, moving on, this is the dialogue that I have presented for the reader, and I will read that. So I was there. The Son of the King had left this earth only to save those who have gruesomely forced his exit. He loved me so, and for that I am humble and humiliated, for I am not worthy. He spoke unto me, "Here is your mother." To that I take her to my home. That is my heart. There I care for her and honor her. I cry with her. I mourn with her. It is with her I truly realize that the gift that is Christ. Birthed by her, I was there. I was there. Many ran to us. Peter, Simon, and I ran. I outran them, but we looked inside the tomb to which he once laid. Mary wept, and I believed. I was there. I was there. He loved me so. For I have witnessed and accepted Jesus, Christ the Savior. When he had to leave this lowly earth, I was born and he was there. So that is the monologue that I have procured for the beloved disciple in my own interpretation. So tying that into Mr. Alter's chapter, Characterization and the Art of Retinence, he brings some points how we're silent for a reason. So there's this intentional, ambiguous depth left by the author to which allows the reader to relate and determine the characteristics for said individual by conscious thought. So what I'm getting at is there are enough holes in a character's description that allows the reader to actually get something that they're like their own interpretation of the character, what they believe in, what they look like, etc. And an example that he brings is actually David talking about Saul, and we see through the way he interrupts the story with diplomatic statements how he is not politically motivated. So David was the narrator in this book about Saul, and he actually cut it right in the half and talked about right in the middle and gave his thoughts real quick before he went back into the reading. So I found that really interesting. And basically it is how the narrative is presented overall to the reader. So narrative and the beloved disciple. It could be that the beloved disciple was left to be an ambiguous character in order to represent something meaningful to the reader. So to me, it's represented actually being there to experience the Last Supper and the crucifixion, though the poetic and vivid details painted by John, which I try to mimic in my dialogue. So in each instance, the beloved disciple responded to Jesus in a way the narrator deems praiseworthy, while others respond with doubt. So that's another point on which I believe the beloved disciple could be the reader itself. And that's my thoughts overall on the beloved disciple, as well as my interpretation, tying back into Robert Alter's chapter 6 of his biblical narrative. Here on my works cited page, Mr. Alter, his book, the verses in which I took some of my information, so the book of John, chapter 13, and then 19 and 20, and then these two are actually the photos. So thank you for your time, and thanks.